Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of TaskHuman Talks. I'm your host and wellness coach, Jamie Carroll, and today we have one of our amazing coaches, Jennifer Evans. She is a women's fitness specialist, nutritionist, and running coach. So, for all you women out there, welcome, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm excited for our discussion today. So, what is your philosophy when it comes to fitness and nutrition for women?
My main philosophy is being able to live a long, healthy life. So that involves exercising or any type of movement throughout the week and combining it with a healthy lifestyle in terms of eating, of what you eat, and also enjoy what you do. That's the most important thing. So any type of movement that you enjoy to do, you should do, and just focus on being healthy.
Okay, I love that. So, just movement, good food, and enjoyment. I love that you threw in
Yes.
that piece of joy because I feel like so often, especially I guess I don't know, especially as women, but I'm a woman, so
Yes.
we're always like on the go. We're nurturing, we're taking care of our family, and then we're trying to get fitness in and eat well and cook for others, and it can kind of like become overwhelming. We forget that joy aspect. Do you find that a lot with the women that you're working with?
Yes, I do, especially when it comes to weight loss and they try to restrict themselves in what they like to eat. And they cut back on foods and then they feel even that this process is even more difficult to them and it adds stress. Also, if they have to do like a training program that they don't enjoy, it's another stress factor on them. So the most important thing is finding what you enjoy most in terms of movement, whether that's working out at a gym or at home or running outside or doing anything it with food that you enjoy, but you just keep those calories that you're supposed to have a deficit if you want to lose weight, of course. That's only if you want to lose weight. So it's a combination of a lot of factors that you should do to actually be happy with your fitness process.
Okay. So you cut out just for a second there, but we want to make sure that we're enjoying the movement and the food and things like that when
Definitely.
we start
Yes.
a program. Okay.
Yes.
Well, speaking of movement, I know with COVID going on, a lot of people are at home. Some gyms are shut down, or there's a lot of restrictions. So a lot of people are probably working out at home more. So for those people, what do you say? Like, what's a good way to get started with an at-home workout?
I definitely believe that working out at home is as good and it can be even better than sometimes going to the gym because you have more time, which is the main factor of people that kind of give up of in fitness. It's best to have a coach instead of just going online and getting a fitness program that's for everybody, but that doesn't mean it's for you. So the most important thing is being able to relate to a coach that's going to guide you through what you need, you may have certain muscle imbalances, or you may have certain expectations from that training program. So it has to be customized on your needs. That's the most important thing. And I also, at least I, with my clients, begin with body weight exercises to make sure that they understand the exercises, they can do them. It's a process, and then slowly you can include other types of weights, or you can play with balance. You can do a lot of things, but it's very important to start slowly and build up on that.
And you're obviously working with people one on one on the TaskHuman app. So, what
Exactly.
would you know, uh, an initial or one of the first work from home sessions look like for those women that are wanting to work with you on the app?
It depends. So if they have a schedule an appointment, which usually that's what I do is I send them a few messages to understand exactly their fitness level. Also, if they have any health issues, which is very important. And if it's a call on the spot, we have a very quick discussion and I slowly start with very basic exercises. And then I see if they can actually, how they're doing with these exercises, if I can progress them to something more difficult. You kind of build on the initial exercises as you go. I think that's the
Okay.
most important thing, being safe and providing a fun but very safe workout.
Awesome. And a lot of people think that they need a bunch of equipment and things to get started. But as you stated just a moment
Yes,
ago, that we
no.
usually just start with body weight. So people
Yeah,
can,
I love body weight exercise. I think they're very effective. And again, playing with stability and playing with duration, intensity, you can have amazing results. You don't actually need to have equipment, especially in the beginning.
yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So it's
Yeah.
easy, make it
Yes.
safe, and of course fun, things that they want
Very,
to do
yes,
too.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
awesome.
very,
I
yes,
love
that's
it.
human. It's very fun.
Great. And now you also work with pre and post natal. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I was certified so I can work with prenatal and postnatal fitness training.
I want to talk about that. I want to touch base on that because that's a really specific niche. And, I know so many people during this time that are pregnant right now or getting pregnant or just had a baby. What is the best exercise for pre and then post? I'm interested in both.
Okay, well, it depends kind of the client of the particular person. For example, if it's a person that's very athletic or she's currently working out, then you kind of continue the same program based on where she is in her pregnancy, of course, with the doctor's always approval, and you kind of reduce duration and intensity as you go. So you kind of see where that goes. If it's a person that has never exercised before, again, you start very basic exercises, always keeping safety in mind. But the myth that you shouldn't train and you shouldn't exercise during and after having your baby is it's a myth. You can perfectly train when you're pregnant, which is actually very good for your body, and it's very good to train after, again, after you get your doctor's approval.
Okay, awesome. So is there a time that that women who are pregnant should stop before giving birth with working out?
Actually, there are women that work out on that person. It depends on how her pregnancy is going, what limitations she has, and you again play with intensity. You make sure that based on her tests, her test results, you can continue. But there is no limitation in terms of working out, exercising up to the point where she's almost getting ready to give birth. No, there's no limitation on that.
What about after starting a workout program after you have a baby?
After is also very important, not because you have your body that is making so many adjustments and it's been through so much. So it's also the mental part. It's, I'm a mom and I remember that those few weeks, months were quite difficult, especially mentally. And exercising is a way to relieve stress. It's a way to provide more energy to your body, even if you feel so tired and exhausted. Exercising actually will make you feel better after. What happens is I usually start with core stability and I start with strengthening the core and then exercises, but here there's a big progression here as it goes along. So again,
Okay.
we're not going too fast, but yeah, postnatal exercise is super important.
So one of the things that's coming to mind is I know a lot of women struggle with this after they give birth is I'm going to say this wrong. Um, the separation, the
Diastasis?
ab separation.
Yes, the separation, diastasis. Yes, I
Yeah.
understand. Definitely you have to go to your doctor to make sure what is going on there. And then after you have consulted your doctor, there are exercises that can help. But that takes, again, a fitness trainer has to work together with what the doctor tells that particular person. Uh, it is manageable. And if it's okay and the doctor says it's okay, there are exercises for that. And depending on the opening, you can continue with your clients as you see fit for that particular person.
Okay, that's awesome. And what about nutrition wise?
Oh,
Pregnancy and
yes, this is a
nutrition. So either like, while pregnant, after, is there like what should women be eating?
it's
Or making
very
sure they get in their diet, making sure that they
yeah,
incorporate.
it's very difficult. Again, it depends on the client. For example, if she's on a weight loss program before or during her pregnancy of course, you have to eat foods that are very nutritious, plus the supplements that your doctor will propose. But keeping your weight in a balance will help also your body as you gain that weight, because you are going to gain weight. It's very important to be able to gain the weight that is okay for your back and also for feeling okay, walking okay. Um, it depends on the person. After you give birth, again, it's very difficult, how women cope with the first few weeks. You can't really be on a diet or really counting your calories so much. It's a very difficult process. So what happens is you try kind of to eat food that will help you, help the baby, of course, especially for breastfeeding, but just keep you going in terms of energy. Not eating too many processed foods, for example, eating foods that will help you. I'm an advocate of vegetables and fruits, and I personally I kind of stay away from processed foods in general. But again, it's finding a balance between nutrition and being so emotionally tired. So it's kind of a difficult area there. But nutrition is
Okay.
always important along with exercise. Those things kind of go together.
Okay, so sorry, you cut out again a little bit. I think that I'm not sure if
I'm
it's
sorry.
my internet or yours. It's a little slow at times, but that's okay. We're getting through. Um,
Okay.
it, you said find a balance, and then you kind of
Yes. Yes, nutrition and exercise and fitness kind of go together. So
right.
usually you kind of try to be in balance with both of them, because the one complements the other. If especially you want to lose weight, or you're an athlete, it depends.
Okay, awesome. And so for women that are breastfeeding, is there one food that you would recommend, or just something that that could be like, I do know that it definitely depends, but is there just one that you
It
could think of that
depends.
may
Yes.
benefit?
It depends what really bothers them, It depends
Yeah,
on how they digest food and everything. I personally used to eat I used to drink tons of milk and cheese. That's what I really thought like my body needed. It
right.
depends. Food and high in fiber can have an effect, a negative effect sometimes. So again, depends on how that woman is in terms of her diet in general. Also
Yeah.
before being pregnant, what makes her feel good, what she needs. It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, but
Um,
I guess that's where getting those like good fruits and veggies too can come in, right? And
Completely,
then
I agree.
picking
I
ones
agree.
that they love and that they
Yes,
enjoy. So you're getting that aspect of
definitely.
joy as well into you know,
Yes,
into your life, which is so
yes.
important, I think.
It is. It is. I can't think of having a newborn and having a restriction on the type of foods that you really want to eat and enjoy, but goes wrong in that. You should eat at a moderate amount, where you
Mhm.
feel almost full, that 80% rule. There are
Yeah.
different tips and tricks that we do now as nutritionists that didn't, exist in the past. And also I'm a pro carbs person, so because I'm a runner, so that's a whole different story,
Mm.
it's
Yeah. We'll talk about running
everything
in
in
just a
moderation.
second.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I do want to touch base on running as well, but I kind of want to also just share with everyone that like when you're choosing foods and fitness, like you said before, I kind of want to go back to that joy piece of
Yes.
things. Um, if you don't like kale, then don't eat kale. Like find another
Exactly.
vegetable that you love, or like if you hate burpees and your fitness routine,
Exactly.
you don't have to do burpees in a fitness routine.
No.
There's so many other things that your trainer, that Jennifer, you can help them find
Yes.
that they're gonna love. And that way you're also with allowing yourself that permission to choose the foods that you enjoy or the exercises that you enjoy. You're adding that joy to your life. Just kind of comes.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And that has to be a very good relationship between the trainer and the client. That person should be very open and telling her trainer that what her preferences.
Yeah.
That's very important, and for the fitness trainer to be able to understand that and adjust based on what she likes and doesn't like. Definitely.
Okay, awesome. So let us shift gears into running. There's some talk out there about running. It's not safe. It's hard on the joints. You're going to get injured if you run. It's too hard on the body. Is this true? What are your thoughts on that?
No, no, it's not true. It's not true. Not only does running help build stronger muscles, it protects from injuries. Now, again, running, I want to say one thing about running, and I am a certified coach, and this is very important that running is a sport. A lot of people think that, they can just go out and run. They can, everybody can run, but it's the way you run and it's the way you land and your stride. And there's so many things in running, from choosing the appropriate shoe that you're going to wear to anything that involves running has to be. So I would say that running does need guidance in general.
It does, yeah. Because when you were just saying like everybody can go out and run, I'm thinking, and I'm sure other people. I don't know if you're out there thinking this too. I'm like, I don't know, I cannot run. I'm
Everybody
like,
can
I
run.
am
Everybody
not
can
gonna.
run.
I cannot run.
No, no,
Well, for those people
everybody.
that might be thinking that, right? Like, how does one begin a running program?
Yes, you start very slowly. Okay. Although I was an athlete, when I started my first 5K, I couldn't even get 1K in. I couldn't. I thought I was losing my breath. I got so tired. It kind of builds up. So you have a trainer that provides you with a program that progresses your distance, also your intensity. You may have speed intervals in between weeks. It depends. And slowly you kind of build on that, and you see how easily those the miles or the kilometers, depending on what you use, they kind of starting to increase, and then suddenly you're running a 5K and it just seems so easy, and then you start
Right.
focusing higher. So it's one brings the other. It takes a lot of work. Of course, it takes training.
Okay, you said then you start focusing on what? Sorry, we are having just a little bit of an internet
Yes.
cutout, but we're gonna keep going. We'll just
Okay.
do it. So you're listening, just bear with us. So you start focusing on, what did you say there?
You focus on taking it step by step, and then you
Yeah.
kind of focus on increasing the distance and also tampering with the intensity, the pace. So it
Okay.
depends on a lot of things. It's very
Okay.
progressive. It's very progressive.
And what about those runners who have been running for a while and maybe they're doing half marathons or even marathons, but they want to increase their running speed? Like, what are some tips and tricks for those people, for those types of runners?
Okay. One thing that I really enjoy, and I also put it in my clients' programs, are speed intervals. In general, intervals help a lot. So if you should try changing the areas that you run. For example, if you run in the same place always, it won't help you with your pace or also your distance. What happens is, also a very important thing is, as a trail runner, I always suggest for runners to incorporate hills. I know it's not, the best, and it gets you very tired, but hills are very, very important to increase your endurance. And then when you go out easily, your legs just go. So there are a lot
Okay.
of things that you can change in your weekly training program. And of course, it requires strength training at least twice a week.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Like, what workouts should runners be doing as well? Because I know there should be a little bit of cross training there, so not
Definitely,
just running.
definitely.
So you
No,
said
no.
strength training.
Yes, a runner, in order to improve his running, cannot only focus on running. So you should have at least twice a week strength training workouts. That can even be body weight, or they can be with equipment. Also, a lot of runners incorporate cycling. So that's another thing. If you enjoy swimming, just cross train. Flexibility workouts, to just stretch also those muscles. It's not just pushing them and pushing them. You got to relax them. So there are a lot of things involved in running, and if you want to progress, definitely.
Okay, awesome. And when they're doing a strength training routine, is there any like one or two, like what are one or two specific exercises that you might recommend that they do that is going to help with that? I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch, but is there just one or two you could list off?
Definitely squats, lunges,
Okay.
also strengthening the core. It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, burpees,
Yeah.
mountain climbers, everything also that gives you that sense of also power exercises. Like a squat, you can
Mm,
do a jump squat, you
love
know.
that.
So yeah, things like that that will, yeah, boost your legs and make them feel stronger.
Awesome. I love that. Is there anything that they should be avoiding in their training programs?
I can't think of something. No. If it happens in moderation, um, I don't think so, because the upper body should be also included in the workouts.
Right.
Everything's important in running. So the
Yeah.
core is very important. Glutes are very important. So you kind of do like
Mm.
a total body, but you also emphasize the legs just a little bit more. The
Yep.
calves, which are very important. Even the ankles. I use a stability board to strengthen my ankles.
I love that.
So yeah, there are a lot of little secrets out there just to make your legs stronger, and of course, avoid injuries. The most
Right.
important thing is if you have strong muscles, you avoid injuries.
Absolutely. So you need to get that cross training
Definitely.
in for that piece as well.
Yes.
And you mentioned shoes. That's what I wanted to know. What are the best shoes to wear if you're going to run?
Oh my gosh, this is such a huge discussion between runners. There's no best shoe for me. I tried many. I'm a trail runner, so
Okay.
if you want my personal preference, which is specifically for trail running,
Wait, say that one
um,
again because you cut out with
Las,
that.
yeah, La
Okay.
Sportiva. And then you have Innovate, which they have amazing shoes for trail running. On my road runs, I use Nike. I've been through a lot of different kinds, but it's such a personal, decision, and also
Mm.
how your foot is, and you got to get fitted. It's a lot involved in the shoe. Um,
Yeah, and as a coach, is that something that you're helping your running clients with as well? Like
yes,
looking at their
yes,
gait, assessing
yes.
their foot placement and all of that, helping them with
Yes,
shoes.
yes, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I help them always when they make their choice. I kind of, depending on how they run, and we do a check, and then I kind of give them some guidelines, and they can go and decide what they want. Yes,
Okay. I love that. So if you're new to running, it's a slow process, right? You're slowly adding distance or adding time, but you'll
yes,
get there. And then, of course, if you already
definitely.
are a runner, just making sure you're doing some of that cross training, switching it up
Yes,
where you're running, getting those hills in,
yes, yes,
strength
yes,
training and all of that stuff. I love it all.
yes,
Okay, great.
yes,
And I kind of want to shift now a little bit more into food because you do work with nutrition as well with your
yes,
clients. So I thought it'd be great to
yes.
touch base on that. So a lot of people who are beginning a workout, they're wondering like, okay, what should I eat? What should I add like a protein shake in? Um, do we need to be eating more or less? Or like what are your thoughts around like someone that's just beginning a workout?
Usually when you just do a workout, it's about 30 minutes. You don't need, it depends on the workout. So if it's a moderate to high intensity workout and it's just 30 minutes, you don't need much. Okay. Also, you don't eat foods high in fiber before the workouts. So you kind of try to aim for about an hour and a half to 2 hours before. Uh, I, I'm an endurance athlete. So if we're talking about endurance, then I'm pro carb, definitely, because it provides the energy that you need.
Right.
Uh, especially for long distance runs, we're talking about a 10K and up. But below that, you just need like a small snack, just not feel hungry. After the
Okay.
run is also very important. After workouts, even if you're lifting, about that 30 minutes after your workout, you do need your carbs and your protein intake.
Okay.
It's a 4-to-1, so it's 4-to-1 carbs ratio to protein, more carbs actually. The reason is it's because your energy, you have used up all of your energy that has been stored there, and you want to replenish that energy. That is why I'm
Okay.
pro carbs. You can find energy through your protein, but it doesn't make sense. The most important thing is to use carbs as your main source of energy before and after.
Okay, so what would you recommend someone eat after a workout? Just something quick that they can grab after that 30 minutes. Do you have
I
something you
make
could
a
recommend?
very, I make a delicious smoothie with milk. Now
Oh,
you can use, for example, almond milk if you want, or
yeah.
coconut milk. And then I put in a banana and a tablespoon of peanut butter. That's my
Okay.
choice. And I put chia seeds in it. So that's my preference. Anything that is healthy, has enough protein, and not too many fats, though. You just want to
Okay.
go like really healthy. And also you can have like a protein powder in there. Like you can also use protein that you can buy to add it in your smoothie or in your shake. That's fine. It's great.
Okay, like that. So almond milk, a banana, maybe a tablespoon or so of peanut butter, some
Yeah.
chia seeds, and then if you
Yes.
want to throw a protein powder in,
If you
you
want.
can do
Yes.
that,
If you
of
want for
course,
extra. Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then before a workout, make sure you're not eating an hour to an hour and a half before you begin. You're just maybe a light snack if you need something, just so you're not feeling hungry.
It depends on the duration. Like for people that do long runs, they do need to eat and increase their energy. About, let's say, an hour, up to an hour, they should have a meal that includes carbs, not too much fiber though, so it won't bother
Okay.
them. And they should have the energy. And then of course it all depends when you're doing longer distances. You have your gels with you. It's a different process, to also replenish on the runs as well. And of course, water
Right.
is very important. Be hydrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Water, stay hydrated. Anything different for those, pre postnatal women that you're working with when it comes to the food? Kind of the
No, not really,
same
because
thing.
they usually do short workouts, and the short workouts do not really need to have anything. If you have a good breakfast and then you train after about an hour and a half, it's fine.
Okay.
I have to eat something. But again, if they work 30-35 minutes, because it's mostly moderate, yeah,
Right.
they're fine. They don't actually need something special.
Yeah. Okay, great. Probably more just focusing on those whole nutritious foods when they're
Yes,
pregnant. Yeah.
yes.
Okay, awesome. What about for people who are really wanting to gain a lot of muscles or anything? Like, are you adding in more protein?
Oh, yes, yes, more protein.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the whole protein thing is huge. Yeah, when you want to increase your muscle mass, you do need to increase your protein intake based on guidelines, of course, provided. Not too much, okay, but it depends also on the person, on how much that person wants to gain, and also if also there's a weight loss involved. So it's kind of a combination of macros, figuring out your macros, that and of course, if you're losing weight as well, your caloric deficit.
Okay. And is that what you're helping your clients with when it comes to nutrition, like figuring out the macros and as well like what they need to do as far as a caloric deficit if they need that for weight loss?
If they want weight loss, yes. The only
Okay.
way to actually lose weight is actually be in a deficit. That is the most important thing. The quality of food is very important for health reasons, and I'm pro eating very healthy. But if you really want to lose weight, you got to focus on that deficit. And it's
Okay.
also the percentage of macros you're going to take in. So that's what we calculate. And then they follow that,
Okay.
and you kind of adjust on the deficit there, depending on how they feel.
That's great. So you're helping your clients with this nutrition piece as well while you're helping them with their fitness goals at the same time. So
Yes.
they're really getting
Yes.
the best of both worlds in that area, learning about their food and then learning about their movement as well.
Yes.
And then, of course, I want to talk about the mental aspect because there is a mental aspect to getting in shape and to staying healthy.
There
And
is, yes.
we already talked about the joy and finding things that bring you joy. But how are you helping your clients with their mental capacity? How are you helping them in the area of mental health?
Well, the most important thing is the most important issue that we have during weight loss is when, especially weight loss, is when a person kind of eats a little bit more or has a very stressful day, and they're following their calories, and then just at the end of the day they raid the fridge because it comes out of stress.
Right.
Emotional eating is huge, and this is why especially women gain weight. So that person then ends up feeling very guilty, like they just they made a mess of that day. The coach is
Right.
here, and this is how it should be also for them to understand that if you eat more throughout a day, okay, and you exceed your calories, it's no big deal. It's
Yeah.
actually really no big deal. You just focus on the next day tracking better, making sure you're in that deficit. Um, so it's important for that person to understand that, again, this is a process. Emotional eating is one of the main factors why we gain weight. We got a lot of stress, especially now with COVID. Another huge
Yeah.
problem is that we work from the refrigerator right there next to us, and we're inside, we're not feeling that great, we're not exercising, we're not doing the things that we like doing. So it's very easy, to just focus on food after.
Right. So when it comes to that, like all the stress and the emotional things and times that we're living in and we're working from home, and we have the fridge, just steps
Yes.
away from us at all times. Do you have any tips or tricks for
Yes.
like when it
Yes.
comes to that emotional eating? Like what are
Definitely.
some tricks for us?
Definitely. Everything starts, first of all, what you go and shop at the grocery store. So the first
Mm,
thing is making sure that you make a list with exactly the foods that you're planning to make. So what important is also preparing recipes, foods that you're going to eat, meal prepping. So you write all the ingredients on your list and you focus on that. You don't you stay away from foods that are the ones that are going to get you the most, so you just kind of avoid them. Also, you don't shop when you're hungry. That's a huge
mm,
thing. Okay, always when we're very hungry, we tend, we're going to kind of regret after. Another thing is, and when you come at your house, first of all, you don't have all the snacks around. If you want to keep some snacks, because the thing is, you can't not eat the snacks you like. So you are going to have some snacks in the house. What you want to do is either separate them and how many you want to have during a day. So have just
I
like
love that.
3 or 4 aside for each day, or you hide them somewhere in the cupboard that are not, right there for you to reach.
Right.
Um, Other small tricks are that when you come home and you're very tired, or you're in the house and you're hungry and you want to make dinner, just eat a banana, eat a fruit, eat something that will kind of, you know, reduce your appetite, and you will be able to cook and prepare the food, you know, much better. And also you won't eat it as fast. You won't eat everything on the plate. We have the 80% rule. Eat until you're hungry, you're full. If you don't feel like if you feel okay, you stop. You don't have to eat everything off the plate,
Right.
you know. That's also very important. So there are many tips like that to help you from not, just going at that food when you want it the most.
I love that. And I love that you said to like, when you have snacks in the house, because obviously you're going to like maybe even
Yes, you
separate
will.
them in the baggies. So
Yes.
like I'm just gonna grab my small baggie of chips that I'm gonna eat or whatever snack that it is that you're choosing that may be
Yes.
a little on the, more for your joy, right? And
And it
comfort a little
becomes,
bit.
yeah, it becomes
Yeah,
very easy when you're living on your own. But if you have a family, or, there are
right,
other people around the house, not have anything in the house.
right,
So that means that you got to have control over what you do and not what the whole family does. You may
right,
have a teenage boy in there that, he just likes those chips. You can't just take it away. But if you want
right.
them, you just eat 3 or 4, and then, uh,
Yeah,
eat
I
them
think
the
having
next
that
day.
separation and like a separate
Yes.
bag though, like I love that because I've never thought about it
Yes.
doing it that way before. So you're still like
Yeah.
almost like grabbing your own baggie,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then,
Exactly.
but yet you're maintaining the 2 or 3 or 5
Yeah.
whatever chips that you just want to have as a little snack, as opposed to
Yeah.
the whole bag.
And if you don't have, if you feel like you're constantly not having the snacks you want, at some point you're gonna grow, you're gonna eat the entire bag. It's not the
Exactly.
way that you should eat. You should have the things that you enjoy in moderation. It's that what has to
I
happen.
love that. I love that. And I love like if you're really hungry and you're cooking, have a banana, have a piece of
Oh
fruit.
yes,
I
definitely.
find too, like drinking a glass of water because you may just be thirsty as well. So tuning into that and then
That's
like,
true.
yeah,
Yes.
and then we're gonna eat that, good healthy meal that we're hopefully cooking for ourselves and our family.
Definitely. And also they also at dinner time, or when you're at the table, have a sip of water, then continue your food, chew also very slowly. Sometimes we're very hungry and we just eat up, and we're going very fast. It's
Yeah.
important to actually enjoy the meal and take it slow. Take it slow, understand what you're eating and enjoy it.
Yeah. And when we are taking it slow, that's when we're gonna notice probably that 80%
Oh yes.
full
Yes,
because we're being more mindful of that. If we're just shoving food in, then you're done
exactly.
and you're like, 5 minutes later, you're like, oh God, I'm so
Yes.
full, I can't move. Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely. Definitely.
yeah, eating slow and mindfully. I love it. Great. So, how do you practice self care for yourself or your fitness, food? What is, a typical day look like for you?
To enter races, although now they've been postponed from COVID, but everybody's still training for them. I wake up, I love having breakfast. I can't skip breakfast because then I feel very hungry. So I
Yeah.
have breakfast. I usually have a piece of toast, peanut butter, and I have jelly without any sugar in it. And I have my coffee. And then I work out. I train every single day. So I always exercise depending on the day, on what I do. If I have long runs, I eat more. If I just have like a strength training program, I eat a little bit less. Um, I eat lunch, I practice in eating lunch, and I sit at the table, I try to do the whole thing, like, actually enjoying the process as much as I can. I snack from lunch to dinner because then I'll feel very hungry at dinner time and I want to eat a lighter meal at that time. And I also try to drink a lot of water. I'm about 3 liters a day, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Everything in moderation. I eat sweets. I like salty food. I just try to keep it at that for my weight.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, I was
So,
going to say, Jennifer, what foods bring you joy, or what,
oh
what
my gosh,
exercises bring you joy?
I love Mexican food. I love sushi. You know, I love cupcakes. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just do. I love cupcakes. Exercises. I don't always enjoy my running training, and that is
Yeah.
something that a lot of runners feel. Like when I have my long run, I'm like, oh my gosh, especially the treadmill.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, but you just gotta do it. Sometimes if you really have a goal, like for a race, you have to do certain things if you have that goal. If
Hmm.
I really like strength training. I love it. And I like working core exercises. I love body weight exercises as well. I think
Love
they
it.
have they make they bring a big change to your body, especially if you focus on the core a lot. And I love the stability
Absolutely.
ball. Yeah.
Hmm. And Jennifer, have you ever worked with a coach yourself? Being a coach, have you ever had someone that you've worked with?
Um, if I had a coach ever,
Yeah. Have you ever worked with someone?
yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
had a running coach when I started running on trails because we have mountains here. So all of our competitions are mountain trails. I definitely needed a coach because running out mountains is very different in terms of muscle strengthening and how you're going to run in relation to road races. So I actually went to a race on my own and I got injured and I was out for
Yeah.
2 months because I didn't know exactly what I had to do and what to strengthen. I thought it was easy. I thought it
Yep.
was going to be just, and it was so different. So I got a running coach and he helped me for about 6 months.
I love it. And I think it's so important to have
It
coaches.
is. It is.
And
It
that's
is.
why I wanted to ask you that. I just knew you were going to say yes. And it helps with setting goals, with staying
Yes.
accountable, with staying on
Yes.
track, with working through like a setback or, an injury if you
Definitely.
did happen to get one, or sickness, whatever.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
just
Yes.
it's so helpful. I
It
work with
is.
so
It
many coaches myself, and
is.
I think people can sometimes feel like, oh, do I need one? Like I don't need that. But everybody needs a coach, and
That is true.
yeah.
And also it's very important to have a coach that is certified. I really,
Yeah.
it's he or she,
100%.
they're not just athletes or someone who trains on their own. They have to be certified so they know exactly how to help that other person based on his or her needs, weaknesses, goals. It's very different from what I feel as a coach and what I need to do for myself that a
Right.
client wants. Yes. So
Absolutely.
education is very important, very important.
Absolutely. And I love that you've got all the pieces. You're helping women
Yes.
during pregnancy, before, during, after pregnancy. You're helping those runners, helping people with their nutrition as
I
well, so
love
they
it.
can get,
I love it.
yeah, fit and healthy. And then also with the mental piece, finding
Yes.
and maintaining that joy in their life too.
Yes.
That's
Yes. And
awesome.
providing
Is there
accountability.
anything else you want to share with everybody before we jump off?
TaskHuman. I think everybody should try TaskHuman. It's an amazing app. I feel great of being able to be a coach on that app. It's a great way to do workouts and connect with a coach. And
Yeah.
the only thing I have to say is everybody should just focus on feeling good with themselves, trying to be healthy, trying to include movement every day in their lives. And just, if there are setbacks, just let them be and continue forward. That's the only thing.
I love it. Well, thank you, Jennifer, so much for joining me today for this talk.
Thank you
everybody
so
out
much too.
there, yeah,
Thank you.
if you're a woman and you're looking for some help with your fitness, your nutrition, your running, whatever it is, make sure you reach out to Jennifer Evans on our Task Human app. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.